The weight section of the gym has always felt really intimidating to you, so you avoid it at all costs. But that cost is actually pretty high because it's the sculpted, toned physique that you're after. You take one look at everyone that seems to know exactly what they're doing, and you keep your head down and head over to your trusty old cardio machine. I know, because I've been you. It's not that you don't want to do the weights, because you do. You want to get the strong, toned, sculpted body that looks like you do actually go to the gym. But the problem is you don't know what to do. In this video, I'm going to take you through a full body workout that you as a beginner in the gym can do, and I'm going to talk you through every exercise as we go. And if you're sat there thinking, Lauren, why should I listen to you? I've been a personal trainer for over 4 years now. And during that time, I have worked with hundreds of women who have spent years of their life yo-yo dieting and avoiding the gym to turn them into confident lifters who feel comfortable in the gym and who finally know what to do to lose the fat and keep it off for good. I am also giving you 4 weeks of free fat loss coaching if you head to the link in the description below, and that will come with a 4-week beginner-friendly training plan to follow. To start, we're going to do a little bit of mobility, which is really important to help increase your range of motion, which will help you to get more out of the lifts that you're doing, and it will also help to prevent injury. So you're going to find yourself a wall that you can kneel against, come down onto one knee and have one arm outstretched in front of you. Now you're going to keep this arm as close as you can to the wall, and you're going to bring it up and behind you and then back again. And you're going to repeat this for 8 times on each arm. We also want to warm up our lower body as well. So take a seat on the floor, feet flat on the floor, knees bent, and then you're going to lower your knees to the ground and switch over to the other side. And you're going to do this 8 times on each side. Now that you're warmed up, we can get on with the actual strength session. So grab yourself a pair of dumbbells. We're going to start with a dumbbell front squat. So for these, you want a dumbbell in each hand. You're going to bring the dumbbells up so that they are by your ears. You want to stand with your feet about hip width apart, toes turning ever so slightly outwards. Brace your core, and then you're going to push your hips back and bend at the knees to come down into a squat. You want to keep your back up straight, not leaning forwards like this. Then you're going to push through the floor to come back up to standing. So when you come down into your squat, you want to come down nice and low so that your thighs are at least parallel to the floor. And then push through the floor like you're trying to push the floor away from you to return back up to standing. Start off trying to do between 8 to 12 of these. Then you're going to rest for 90 seconds and you're going to repeat that for 3 sets. When you get to the end of the first set, see how the weight feels. If you've comfortably made it to 12 reps, you might want to pop those dumbbells down and pick up some that are slightly heavier to make sure that you're challenging yourself. If you struggle to get to 8 reps, then you might want to think about picking up some lighter ones. Next up, we're going to do reverse lunges, which are a key exercise to include in your training week because they are unilateral, meaning we're going to work one side at a time. And this is really important because it's going to help to even out any imbalances that you might have. So you're going to grab hold of a dumbbell in each hand again and start with your feet hip width apart. This is the really important bit. As you step back into your lunge, you want to make sure that you're keeping that hip width of distance between your feet. This is going to help you to keep your balance. What a lot of people do when they try and lunge is to step their foot directly behind the other one, which then causes them to do something that we call a tightrope and throws you off balance. So it's really important that when you step back, you try and keep that distance. Now from here, you're going to step one leg back and you're going to come down until your front thigh is parallel to the floor. You want to make sure that your knee stays behind your toes, not over your toes like that. Then from here, make sure you're placing all of the weight through this front leg to return back up to standing. It's really important that you are keeping all of your weight through this front leg and not trying to bounce and push off of the back leg. With these, you always want to start on your weaker side so that you can then match the reps with your stronger side rather than the other way around. Aim for between 8 to 12 on each leg, but make sure that you do the same amount on each leg. Then rest for 90 seconds and repeat so you do 3 sets in total. Now we're going to do a bench press. So find a bench and make sure that it's set to flat. Grab hold of your dumbbells, feet flat on the floor. You're going to lay back on the bench and start with the dumbbells up in line with your shoulders. You want your wrists to be at a 45-degree angle, not straight. Then you're going to bend at the elbows to bring the dumbbells down towards your chest. You want to make sure that you're bringing them down with your elbows, forming an A shape towards your body, rather than straight out to the side in a T shape. Keep them here. Then you're going to press them back up, keeping them in line with your shoulders. Aim for 8 to 12 reps, rest for 90 seconds, and then repeat for 3 sets in total. Keep an eye on how the weight feels, so you're not just plodding along. If you can comfortably get to 12 reps, then I would think about increasing it to make sure that you are definitely challenging yourself. Now we're going to use your first machine to do a lat pull down. Take a seat, placing your feet flat on the floor with your knees underneath these pads. If you need to adjust the height of them, there should be a little pin that you pull out, and then you can move it up and down. Then you're going to grab hold of the bar so that your hands are just outside of shoulder width apart. You're going to set your shoulder blades back and down, and this is your starting position. Then you're going to bend your elbows to bring the bar down towards your collarbone, thinking about pulling your elbows in towards your hips. Then you're going to slowly release and control the weight as it comes back up. You want to make sure that your chest is staying still and it's just your arms that are moving. You also want to make sure that you're bringing the weight to your collarbone and not trying to go further down here, which is going to cause you to round your shoulders. And quite frankly, it just feels quite horrible. Make sure that you're not swinging the weight back, using momentum to pull it down. Aim for 8 to 12 reps, rest for 90 seconds, and then repeat so you do 3 sets in total. On to the last exercise of the workout. You're going to use a cable machine to do a pull-off press, which is going to work your core. Set the cable to your waist height and attach the D handle. Then you're going to take a step to the side so that you're parallel to the machine. Grab hold of the handle with both hands and bring it across so that it is just in front of your stomach. Now you're simply going to extend your arms straight out in front of you, keeping that cable straight. So you're resisting the pull back into the machine. Then bend your elbows to bring it back towards you. Repeat for 8 to 12 reps, have 90 seconds of rest between sets, and make sure you do 3 sets in total. Now you're going to stretch so you don't wake up tomorrow cursing me that you can't walk down the stairs. Link your hands together behind your back and push out. This is going to stretch your chest. Now hold each stretch for roughly 30 seconds. Then bring one arm across in front of you and pull it in with the other arm. With this, just make sure you do it on both sides. Then you're going to stretch your quads. So lift one leg up, grab hold of the laces of your shoe and pull it in towards your bum, and you're going to feel a nice stretch down the front of your thigh. Make sure you switch and do both sides. I'm going to stretch hamstrings, so essentially just fold in the middle and try and touch the floor. To stretch your glutes, you're going to come down onto your hands and knees. You're going to step one foot back behind you, and then the other one you're going to bring across your body and place your knee down on the floor, and then you can sit down into it. You should feel a nice stretch in your glutes there. Switch sides. Hopefully, now that you've got an idea of what to do and a plan to follow, the weight section doesn't seem quite so scary. Don't forget that you can grab yourself 4 free weeks of fat loss coaching heading to the link in the description below. It's going to give you a 4-week training plan that you can follow. Thank you for watching, and if you found it helpful, make sure you hit like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one.